Trump enthusiasm matches GameStop mania as small investors flood market in record numbers. The share of small investors trading in US stocks have reached 25% according to data compiled by JP Morgan. Instances of traders strong buy the dip mentality have already been seen this year. In quotes, there will be a day of reckoning. Adding that trading has been a lot easier to do when you have a bull market that goes up on record high every 4 days. Now, the other day we talked about the Doge stimulus checks and how coincidental it is that they're correlating it back to 2020 on this 4-year cycle, stating that GameStop could get another rally and that retail investors are loading back into the market and it's going to cause a major jump with these stimmy checks. Well, now in today's video, we see that President Trump does confirm that he supports a Doge dividend tax refund for every taxpayer. Now, if you come and you actually take a look at this article, JP Morgan says that retail investors are coming back into the market and we haven't even gotten these stimulus checks yet. Yet what's so interesting about this is the volume has been fading across the board. So retail investors are flooding in, but yet there's no volume, which means institutions are or have sold out of their positions and are waiting for what? A rug pull? Yeah, probably. They are waiting for retail to get fully in so that they can rug it. And if you get your stimulus checks and you go fully in and get rugged, it's gonna be just like 3-4 years ago, right? The strategist even admits it, stating that there will be a day of reckoning and that trading's only easier for these retail investors because the market only goes up. Now, we are seeing Thailand's financial regulators start to crack down, hopefully on short selling, set to curb short selling, high-speed trades amid slide. We are also seeing that bank that we've been talking about over in Japan showing that they lost almost $13 billion. We're also seeing gold once again for I don't know how many consecutive days in a row we've just been seeing it hit all-time highs. 2,943 right now, currently green on the day, very green on the week. We got a big candle and there's no telling when this is going to stop. SPY originally cracked down below 609.20, which is ultimately the level that we wanted to watch for to potentially enter puts on a breakdown for the SPY. What I would have liked to see on the SPY is a little bit more volume pickup over here. Maybe we can take a look at the closer time frame in a second, but I want to state in the middle of this video very soon, we got a lot of stuff to talk about with AMC and GameStop, and the charts are very important. Then after that, I'm going to give you some stocks where cash is rotating around in the market, where we could be seeing some dip buy opportunities, and then also a short squeeze play at the end of the video that I want to talk about very briefly. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and make sure to turn post notifications on and comment down below what number like you are. Now, we had these two descending parallel channels on the SPY. I adjusted one a little bit and now they're not actually fully connected. That's because I was looking at it on the weekly time frame. So just disregard that. We would ultimately see a trend line more so down here, meaning that the SPY would technically have to retrace near 602.50 to 604, which is those levels that we wanted to watch. Now, as of right now, you're in a risky scenario because the SPY is coming back up to recapture 609.20, but likely going to get rejected. Now, the SPY failed at these highs around 613, 612, 613, which is very important because a crack beneath 609.20 shows that the SPY is going to retrace. Now, that retrace is likely to take us down to 604. To 602.50. Potentially, we hold up on 606 if the SPY gets some sort of positive catalyst, but over the weekend, we are likely to see red come Monday unless something happens with the market. Now, the couple of catalysts that we have to pay attention to is Trump says a trade deal with China is possible. And then we also had jobless claims come in, and a little sprinkle on top. The SEC just launched a cyber unit to combat cryptocurrency fraud. SECs corrupt themselves. So ultimately, a lot of you stocks, what are you looking for the market? I don't want to spend too much time on it. I feel like I'm kind of rambling on here. SPY not holding 609.20 is puts down to at least 606. Then you run a trailing stop loss to potentially ride it down to 604 to 602.50. Holding into the weekend is risky, but the risk to reward is probably worth it in my opinion. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. If we get a very, very positive catalyst, then the SPY will likely come recapture 611 by Monday morning. Now, what I also do want to know correlated over to what I think is going to happen with GameStop and AMC, the SPY could could open very green or very red, meaning there is a safer play, which is probably calls on the VIX. Okay, moving on. Unity reported earnings, ticker symbol U. We talked about it. We entered calls on it in the Discord. It's up 27%. This was a beautiful, beautiful play. Tons of volume came in. I actually didn't even look into the earnings. I just wanted to make a play out of it and make a little bit of side cash on the side. Now, this could be making its way up to 28.80. Beautiful thing to see for Unity Software. We also had Grab earnings, which we did go puts on, which is down 10%. Now, the one we did get slaughtered on was Carvana, CVNA. You heard me talk about it on the channel. It's down 15%. We went calls on the earnings here for Carvana, assuming it was squeezing. We now are seeing that we're likely hitting a double top. The stock has been running for way too long, and ultimately we lost one of three, which is completely fine. Some of the contracts may be, depending on, for Grab, may have gotten IV crushed, which is just paying way too high premium for the contract that you entered, but Unity calls played out very, very well. Okay, so it was a profit here, a loss on Carvana, basically a break even, maybe slight loss, maybe slight profit on Grab, which comes out to net neutral, but it's interesting to see Unity come up 27%. Now, AMC is trading at 347, down 3% on the day. This is perfect because we have been calling out for 2 down days after this rally that we've seen, which is perfect. So AMC's coming down. We got 2 down days. I actually called out a level at 338 to 325. We came down to about 343, so not quite, but 5 cents off, which is completely fine. And we could still have room to go down for the rest of the day. Now, if you don't know what I'm tracking, if you don't watch the channel, it's this rally up here, 2-day decline, and then Monday you would see some sort of legs up. What does that mean? Well, if we also take a look at AMC on a more macro perspective, we are seeing this 301-day window. Just to show you what I'm tracking, 301-day window leads us to the end of this week. Everything lines up with AMC. It's almost perfect. I don't want to say it is perfect, but it is almost perfect. One warning that I want to give you for AMC and GameStop. First of all, why I say it's almost perfect is because we could be at a different setup completely. However, I'll explain why I'm going in loading up before the weekend begins, before the market closes. So first of all, if we take a look at AMC, yes, we are in this 301-day window, I assume. However, you see this setup right here, okay, prior to this window. And then you're also seeing a similar setup right here. The length of these setups before we end up hitting lows could mean that we are actually earlier in the cycle. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, AMC, where it's trading at right now, could more so theoretically be maybe back here, right? Or something along the lines of that. Now, I think this is the more unlikely case scenario, but if we look at GameStop on the macro, on the weekly chart, GameStop also has the same possibility. Now, if this isn't really coming clear to you, coming through your head clearly, this low down here, right? August 12th, 2019, 553% after this melt up. This is the 553% right here. Now, this low from April 15th of 2024, which is what we're watching, to this high, the same thing, about 550% gain. And then you have this window, right? This lasted 511 days from the low of the melt up, from the low to the high of the melt up. So from the low to potentially the high of the melt up being 511 days brings you to September 8th. So what am I saying? Well, we already got the 550%. Lottery stocks were just going to rip higher. Well, if we did end up in an invalid spot for AMC, in too early of a spot, the same would be true for GameStop. And that would mean, right, that the true melt up would start on April 20th. What you're seeing right here, because I have the bars pattern overlaid. This is the yellow bars pattern overlaid over the chart, and April 20th is right here. That would actually start to melt up coming into September. This is second case scenario. I think it's the more unlikely case scenario, but I want to prep you in case nothing happens on Monday. So what does this mean? Well, it means that we already got the percentage gain that GameStop originally got to prep for its move, and that we have the time frame until September 8th to potentially come all the way back down to this low. Okay, we don't have to, but that low is at $10. Now, the bullish scenario, even if that does happen, even if that is the case, we still have room for upside to a likely price target of $1,400 a share. Okay, so that is the bullish case scenario. Now, if GameStop and AMC are on the more likely side of things, where we are trading at right now, where we got this gap up and then a sell-off. That would mean that we're sitting around hypothetically January 14th. If you come in and take a look at GameStop, what happened January 14th? Well, right beginning this week, you saw this major move up. Okay. And we have been tracking the gap up and then the flat trading, which right now you are seeing we got the gap up, then we're kind of flat. Okay. So it's still on for now, which means I think the more likely scenario, which doesn't have to happen, is we see a huge move on Monday for AMC and GameStop. Now, this doesn't have to occur. This is just what I'm watching out for and what I'm telling you, what I'm showing you. Make sure to share this video with other people. But this is what we're looking at right now for AMC as well as GameStop. Now, I want to talk about Reddit, RDDT, trading at 173. They just recently reported earnings. They have a daily active user miss. But I just want to throw this out there and state that this stock, alongside what I'm about to show you, could be at a dip buying opportunity at 173. If we crack below and we continue to sell off, we could see all the way down to 135. Depending on what happens with the overall market is something you could see there. But 173 is a potential dip buying opportunity. Palantir is at 102, which I think if we don't hold 101 by close, it's coming down to 91 bucks or 90.60. So about a $10 drop if we can't hold 101. Alibaba reported earnings. We gave it to you so long ago in the Discord server. And now we're at what I think is a potential local top at 138.50. We had this drawn out. It's a simple fib level. If we closed above 139, then I could see a long, medium term move to 186 on Alibaba. But right now it's a potential short opportunity looking for a cool off. INTC coming down to 24.50, I think, is also another potential buying opportunity. Hopefully going to hold this zone, right, on INTC. Now, if we don't hold this zone, that's okay. You could see another move down to 23.50 or maybe even 22.50. But either way, dollar cost averaging in the long term, I think this is a good dip buy opportunity as the stock is down almost 4%. OKLO as well, right? Came all the way down to 40.60, which I think was another buying opportunity. Nvidia, very important here. Nvidia came all the way up, tested that 141, which we talked about, got a slight consolidation period right now, but we are pressing up against this descending resistance level that we tested once, twice, and now for a third time looking for this breakout. Now, we also have earnings Wednesday, February the 26th, which is next week, which I think if earnings play out, Nvidia will gap to 160. Okay, so be wary of this. I don't know if it means jump in now or jump in Monday or Tuesday so that you get an early opportunity. But if you wait until Monday or Tuesday, maybe the returns already start coming in and being priced in for Nvidia. Just something to watch and evaluate on your own. Now, what is this? Okay, what happened to MGOL? You probably are searching in the ticker. MGO Global successfully completed business combination. They actually just merged over into the ticker that is now HMR, trading at $5.25. Now, this is important because shorts do still have their short positions, and they are now going to be short HMR, and we'll have to deliver HMR shares. And of course, there's no time period for that. What I can see so far is there's not really much price action to go off of, but we are technically making higher highs already. And if MGO or HMR should say decides that it wants to hold up at $4.90, and we'll continue this trend. Again, there's really nothing to chart here. It's brand new, but I just wanted to state what happened with MGOL. Last but not least, I'm saying it right now, I'm not positive on this, but I think it's time to potentially put FFIE back on your radar. Faraday Future Intelligence weekly chart just looks good. And if volume comes in this week ahead, I think Faraday can have major moves back up to $12. They also just announced their plan to expand their AI-focused recruitment, and they will be changing their ticker symbol on March 10th to FFAI. They are going to ramp up their AI research and development efforts in 2025. And if I was a short seller, I don't want to touch a stock that is jumping into the AI space and going all in on it. Overall, guys, make sure to check the top link in the description of the video so that you can come see my trades as soon as I take them and talk stocks and crypto with the best people, the most amazing family. You will not regret it. It's time to level yourself up once and for all. We also have insider trade alerts, dark pool trade alerts, market news, and you just learn so much in the Discord server. So get in here. It's a top link in the description. Come talk with me on the daily and the most amazing people. The second link under the video is for Moomoo, and the third link is for 1000x stocks. That third affiliate link is for a platform that gives you complete fundamental analysis on every single stock. You can compare them, you can see the filings, you can see the ratios. You can really break down a company to see if it is for you to hold long term. It's a very powerful tool. But the second link is for a free broker. It's Moomoo. Once you sign up through my link and deposit into your account, you're earning up to 30 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock, as well as getting 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash, access to level 2 order book data for free, trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and more as a retail trader. And yeah, so all those links, all those benefits, get in the Discord, sign up for the free broker, and then use this for fundamental analysis. That is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.